Welcome back. We are starting out the day a little bit stronger for Bitcoin and crypto versus last night. But the question is, will they stay strong after the market bell? I'm recording this a little bit before the market bell. And as you can see, Bitcoin is right around 80,700. This is a much better place than last night when Bitcoin fell down to 76,500. So what is Bitcoin going to do today? Well, the US market right now, the futures is even. It was in the green, now it's kind of even. So I think Wall Street is trying to digest whether or not today is going to be a recovery day, whether they are going to buy up some of the stocks they massively sold off yesterday, including Bitcoin. And the reason why Bitcoin actually recovered from yesterday's bottom, you could argue, is because Asia and Europe decided not to sell off. Okay, and that, to me, actually, it's a little surprising that they didn't follow what the US did yesterday. So that's actually encouraging. But then again, the day before, that's exactly what happened too. The day before, when we saw Bitcoin fall down to 79 or 80,000 overnight, we saw it hit up almost 84,000 before the bell rung and we went all the way down. So hopefully today is not a repeat of what happened yesterday, but I guess we'll see. Right now, again, if you guys been watching my videos, you know that there's just a lot of fear, a lot of uncertainty about our economy here in the US. If you're looking at economic numbers, you know what, today there's going to be a job openings that'll be reported later. And then also we have some CPI and PPI numbers coming out. And estimates show that both should be ticking down. That's what we want. We want inflation to tick down so that Fed Chair Powell can actually cut the Fed fund rate, which is what everyone wants. That's going to be our version of capital injection. But if CPI and PPI both show that they're still on their way up, that's going to be bad. The markets will not like it. Okay. So I guess we'll see. But like I've been saying, even though things are looking dark, things are looking bad, we could always get some kind of catalyst that can drive us forward. Right now, there still seems to be a lot of talk about tariffs and exemptions that could be made. Here's one that talks about how, Canadian oil and gas tariffs could be removed, right? So things like this, don't know. Sometimes people think that Trump is just throwing all these blanket tariffs just to even things up as a bargaining chip, right? For the countries to come to the table and negotiate. But then other times it seems like he doesn't want to negotiate. He just wants to put out the tariffs. So this is why Wall Street just does not know what's going on. I saw this too. This is interesting. I mean, it's not surprising, but it's interesting that of all the things that are happening right now, this is on front page of CNBC, Trump calls Tesla boycott illegal and says he's buying one to support Elon. Since when did boycotts become illegal? Since when did protests become illegal? This is in reference to the fact that yesterday Tesla had one of its worst sell-off days ever, minus 15%. But to be fair, everything sold off yesterday. There were a lot of stocks that sold off this much, if not more, including crypto, right? But, I got to say, Elon's not helping himself. I mean, the Doge thing is, is a question mark. I think most of us, again, like the notion, like the idea that irresponsible spending or wasted spending in government is removed. That's great. But, Elon just attacks people now, left and right. I saw this. We got Senator Mark Kelly, okay, who made a post about he went to Ukraine. He supports them. He wants the war to be over, but he supports them. And this is a former, not only is he a congressman, he's a former vet. He served in the Navy, right? And he just wrote a regular post about his trip. And then Elon responds saying, you're a traitor. Like, Elon's getting a lot of hate, okay? Not only because of his Doge, work, but he's doing a lot of things right now on X, in the media, that are just very head-scratching and just question mark. There's just no reason for a type of response like that. You may not like the guy, you may not agree with it, but you're telling a former vet, someone that served the nation, that they're a traitor. I don't know. It just, so this kind of sell-off almost seems like it's warranted in a way. Yeah, I just don't get it. Anyways, I'm sidetracked there. But I just find that Trump is actually, coming to the defense of Elon, and this is headline news. Of all the things that's going on, somehow this is headline news. Somehow boycotting a company has now become illegal. And I don't even know if there's any boycotting. There are protests. I don't know about boycotting. Anyways, going back to the subject at hand, what about the sell-off? Are we going to see more of it? Well, Jim Cramer, people love to say that Jim Cramer or inverse Jim Cramer is always correct. And a statement like this should scare you. But you know what? I am in agreement with Jim Cramer, even though we may sell off more today and this week. But, the crypto market is going to sell off sometimes, okay? And I've been very clear about that recently, about short term, unless we get a big catalyst, get a big thing that brings a whole lot of enthusiasm back, or we finally hit that bottom and get a really good reversal and recovery, Wall Street will probably continue to sell it off. And not just Wall Street, just a lot of traders in general will probably continue to sell the, Bitcoin and crypto off when there's scariness out there, when there's FUD out there, right? But that's short term. Long term, we know Bitcoin is going to be fine. It has seen many sell-offs, many scary periods in the past. And again, there are many great fundamental things that are happening, and they are reasons why you should not give up, okay? Although inverse Jim Cramer is probably right, and because of this, we may sell off more today. Here's an example of something good. The SEC is moving away from crypto firms in terms of them registering or trading systems. Again, the SEC is changing, becoming very, very not anti-crypto anymore, okay? Not pro-crypto. Well, they are pro-crypto. Right now, I don't see any really pro-regulations, but they're removing all of their negative regulations from before. All the lawsuits and everything, all the requirements, everything's starting over. And that's fantastic. That's going to pave way this year for major changes. And despite the fact that Wall Street, again, you look at the ETF outflows, they have been absolutely brutal. Every single day we get outflow now. This is the main driver of the sell-off. There's no doubt about it. As soon as the market bell opens, you see a sell-off, right? But again, this is short term. Long term, Bitcoin will be fine. And those that believe will continue to HODL and DCA. Saylor is not going to stop. 21 billion stock issuance with Strike to raise more funds for MicroStrategy. Although short term, MicroStrategy and Strike right now are both getting decimated along with everything else that's selling off. But long term, Michael Saylor believes that this is the right strategy to acquire as much Bitcoin as you can, even during the scary times. And he did that last year. He did that years before during crypto winter, and it's worked out pretty well. Even Robert Kiyosaki says, I will continue to acquire Bitcoin on sale because he understands that money is just debt. And our government can't be trusted because there will always be irresponsible spending, irresponsible printing. There will always be worries about inflation and debasement of our currency, and not just the US, every country around the world. That's just how our financial industry, financial systems work with fiat. So Robert Kiyosaki used to be a big Bitcoin and silver guy. He still is, but now he's turned into a big Bitcoin guy too, right? Texas is doubling down with their 250 million reserve bill. That's fantastic. So a lot of states obviously not giving up. I like to remind you guys, we do have a reserve now. We do have a reserve for the United States. And soon we're going to get a lot of reserves for states as well. So these are all positive things, guys. Fundamentally, Bitcoin is strong as ever, if not the strongest it's ever been, but only if you don't look at the price action, which I know is difficult to do, right? But last few things I'll say about this is that CME gap that we didn't quite fill, that we were 200 points away, remember? Last week, we finally filled it with yesterday's dip. And when you zoom out, you realize that we're still on our way up. Yes, we had a major correction. And yes, we may go down even more. But there are still a lot of days left in this year. This run is not over. Okay. However, let's see. Let's see what happens when the bell rings. Should be shortly. If we do go down lower, I did mention yesterday in my video that I think we will fall down to 73.8, 73.9, this right here. And hopefully that would be the major resistance that we are looking for, or major support, I should say, and that we can finally recover and truly bounce and recover back up, right? That is what I'm looking at. But yesterday, obviously, we found the bottom and recovered. Let's see what happens today, and we'll go from there. Okay, so stay strong, my friends. I will start streaming soon. But right now, I feel like these short videos, to the point, you guys enjoy them, and I'll continue to do so. And I'm still kind of under the weather and sick, and I get tired even doing these videos. So I will continue to do these for you guys, and soon I'll start streaming again. All right? Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.